I like to check in on the latest goings on in the Rangers search for a new manager. I like showing you the odds. I know, Keith, you don't put much stock in it. Steven Gerrard is still the out-and-out favourite. And Scott, I read today with interest your piece on Ancelotti Jr., who has been linked with Rangers. He's the latest name. You spoke to, was it Tam Courts?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard obviously to find somebody that's worked with David Ancelotti or knows him, but Tam Courts is a bit of an anomaly. But when Tam Courts was at Dundee United as manager, he was wanting to do his UEFA Pro licence, obviously, but just with the timing of it, he couldn't get into the Scottish FA, so he had to look elsewhere and ended up going to Wales with the Welsh FA, and they'd some decent names on the course, and one of them was David Ancelotti, and Tam got to know him really well. It was over a kind of 18-month period. I know the two of them are still in contact and have kept in touch. So, he's really he's a big fan of him as a coach. Thinks he's got the big questions for him. What I was interested in. Does a guy like this deserve the? It's okay working at Real Madrid and working at PSG, Bayern Munich as a coach, but has he got the character and the personality to come in at Rangers and be the number one with all the first managerial job, with all the pressure that's going to come here? Listen, he might be biased, obviously he knows him, but he's adamant that he does have those qualities, those attributes. And as I say, it's a bit of a left field name, but I do think there might be something in it. I think he probably has a name that Kevin Thelwell and others have looked at. No doubt they'll be considering and maybe even speaking to various others, but that's an interesting one. And certainly with that name, Ancelotti, you almost have a kind of natural gravitas, don't you? But it'd still be a massive job for him, getting in for his first managerial gig, away from his dad, obviously, getting into the pressure pot that is the Old Firm in Glasgow.
Mm-hmm. Keith, Singing the Blues, says there's more chance of me getting the gig than Carlo's boy. What do you make of that?
I find it highly unlikely, but I keep saying it. You rule nothing out with Rangers because they do make decisions which, on the face of them, have been unlikely for a while now. The name is great. Ancelotti's, a superb name, and by the way, if he's got any difficulties, he's got a good contact. He can pick up the phone to discuss how best to handle awkward situations. But I agree with Scott. To come from nowhere, come from nowhere, that's a ridiculous thing to say given where he's been. But to be kind of shoehorned into the job at Ibrox, into this environment with no real knowledge or grounding in Scottish football for his first big gig, his first job, striking out on his own, I would mark it in the highly unlikely box.
I think that's. Look, some of the comments coming in. Mark says he wants Gareth Southgate. Your loyal Muppet says not good enough. Need more experience. Sick of hearing about no hopers. But see, just to go back to the runners and riders, I just don't get the Gerrard thing, Scott. I don't get why he'd want to go back. I don't get why Rangers would want to go back to him. I just don't see it. I know he won the title, but it was 1 trophy in 10, wasn't it? I don't know.
I disagree. Yeah, I think Gerrard still ticks a lot of boxes. I mean, it's hard. No, it's hard to get somebody that's going to tick every box, because if that was the case, they'd go and get the best managers in Europe. So every manager they get, there's going to be arguments for and against. I keep saying, when they went for Philippe Clement, he ticked a lot of boxes. He was a winner. He was seen as a big character. He went into Genk and won the league, then carried on 2 seasons at Trot with Bruges, really highly rated. But it didn't work out. So it's a really difficult decision, a massive decision. And who knows, you're looking at that list. I mean, who knows if any of them will even be involved in the process, if any of them's got a chance. But I definitely think Gerrard ticks a lot of boxes. He's out of work. He knows Rangers. I don't think going up against Brendan Rodgers would faze him. But as you say, that a lot of fans will probably still ask the question, well, right, okay, won the title, but there's a lot of disappointments along the way as well. Did build a good team, Steven Gerrard. No, I know it was a 3-year period, but you look at the players and look at that team compared to what it looks like now. I think it's totally different. So I'm not surprised he's high up in the betting and he's stayed there.
Keith, some invaluable advice from Gianni. He says, "Never get back with your ex, Daniel." Listen, I think that's golden advice, Keith.
Well, especially when there's major income tax implications, which there certainly would be for Steven Gerrard, and I think because of that, financially, I'd be very, very, very surprised. I mean, you're talking a small, not even a small, a humongous fortune would be owed to the taxman, and I just don't know if that would be viable right now. Certainly, I don't think Rangers could compensate him for the money that he would be losing if those circumstances were to prevail. Again, he's not one that I expect to see in the Rangers hot seat next season.
There's plenty of comments coming in saying that Gerrard, as you can see, would be a popular choice. I mean, what do I know? But Gerrard without Beale, it just doesn't float my boat, for want of a better phrase.
I don't think you could bring Beale back. I don't think that would
Now, if there's any league in the world that could do something like that, it's Scottish football. That's peak Scottish football. Beale and Gerrard back next season. Actually, that would be fun. That would be funny, though, wouldn't it, Keith?
Yeah, I don't know what more you want me to say on the matter, Daniel. As far as I'm concerned, it's not going to be happening. So, I don't think he's a genuine candidate. I might be entirely wrong because I've heard plenty of people say it. People that claim to be in the know have said and are adamant actually that Gerrard has been spoken to, is in the mix. There's 75 million reasons why I don't think it'll happen.
Aye, that's fair.